All right, now some of you really enjoy a nice challenge. So for Module 6, we have just that for you. The Module 6 challenge program will include a culmination on arrays and the new print method, printf. Over here on the right, you can see the heading up top. And over here on the left is the program purpose. Okay, we're making a hurricane, actually a statistical hurricane data tool. Okay, all right, so let's begin taking a look at the rubric. Very long rubric for a very long program. Okay, we have our usual suspects. Okay, we're going to read data in from a file. I believe that's 5.03 in case you need to refer back. You are going to use arrays to store all data. Collect user input. Enhance/traditional loops used. Of course, conditional statements. Integer constants. You're going to need min and max values. Arithmetic statements. Output. This is our printf. Here again, tied to printf. Documentation throughout the program. And this one is a new one. Summary stats written to a text file. So you're writing back out to a text file. 5.06, I believe, if you need a refresher on that. When they say the summary statistics, they mean that at the bottom where the tallies, the sums, and the averages, just that data, not the raw data being used to determine the calculations, but just the calculations and final stats themselves. All right, so let's take a look. Here we have assignment instructions. Okay, you will start off with a text file that you will use that is full of data. Looks just like this. It has data from 1995 through 2015, and what a year we've had the past couple of years. Okay, but no data from the past couple of years. Okay, all right, so detailed, very detailed instructions. Make sure you go step by step. You will need this table in order to determine which storm was a category 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because you will have to tally that. Okay. And here we have our expected output. You can see up here, this part, the data table. Down here is the summary data. So this part will be printed, the whole thing will be printed to screen, and the summary data printed out to text file. Okay, let's take a look at the progression of this particular section. Okay, we're going to start off with finding minimum and maximum. You're going to do a lot of that. Page 2 comes in 2 parts. You get some practice on the minimum and the maximum. This will be needed throughout the course, as well as heavy on the Module 6 exam and the final exam. Very important stuff here. An EIMAX lab, you're going to do a practice test. Skip the practice test on the 2-dimensional arrays, okay, and do the rest of the material. This will help expose any misconceptions that you have about programming the arrays, because you're going to program a lot of arrays in this particular assessment, and you want to expose what you don't know before attempting this program in order to save yourself frustration. Okay, and we're back to the assessment or assignment submission instructions. When you submit, I want 2 files. I want this file. You will see a splash warning screen when you go to upload and submit, asking for another file. Okay, that is this text file. I will need it to run your program. If you come over here on the left, you see that I have it loaded. So I need both files on submission. Okay, let's run this tool. Maybe we can bring over the pseudocode. All right, we're going to query the user. A lot has happened before this point in the program, and we're going to talk about that because querying the user is actually right here in the pseudocode, and a lot has already happened before then. Please enter the starting year. I'm going to choose 2000 and the ending year 2005. And you see we've returned data starting with the hurricanes in 2000, ending with the hurricanes in 2005. Summary data, okay? And if we look over in the folder, the summary data is hopefully written to a text file. There we go. Summary data of just the categories, okay? So likewise, with your summary data, you can just print this out to text file. All of the rest, everything else printed to screen. Okay, let's take a look at the pseudocode. Here are usual suspects. Here we're going to declare and initialize lots of variables that we will need for the first part of the program. Okay, including your max, min, value, declarations, and initializations. We're going to read in this data file over here on the left, the hurricane data stats. Read that in. Our main purpose here is to tally the total number of storms, because we will need to do that because we're going to declare 7 arrays next. We're going to read in the file again, this time filling up the 7 arrays. We're using this tally total to know when we're going to stop and close in file. We're going to loop through, do our wind speed conversion, loop through again, determine our categories. We're going to store those in an array and find our totals. Okay. We're going to begin by printing out our data table heading. Actually, that's this right here. Declare any new initializations or declarations and initializations at this point and query the user right here. Once we have the range from the user, we can determine our stats. We can determine this stuff down here. We can loop through and make those determinations. If needed, loop through. And we're going to calculate our averages, okay? And we're going to print it all out. Table heading refers to, okay, table heading, data table, the raw data, and the summary data. Okay. All of this is considered summary data, but what you need to print out to a text file right here. Okay. Hope this helps. You don't have to follow this framework. It's just a framework that works. You are allowed to create your own, those of you who really want to go for the challenge. And just make sure you keep an eye on the rubric so that you have all of the necessary parts.